Another hybrid barley option for 21 is this newcomer SY Thunderbolt. Now all of these hybrid varieties, whether it's Thunderbolt, Kingston, Kingsbarn or any of the others, will provide a range of benefits that are quite familiar to us now. We have the extreme vigour in both the autumn and spring, which allows for a wider and more flexible sowing window. That vigour in turn also makes these very competitive options against troublesome grassweeds, so they're a good part of an integrated crop management plan. Hybrids also offer more forgiving disease management than most of the two-row varieties. Their grain yields are very high indeed. In fact, in many situations these compete with second winter wheat for the higher gross margin. And then finally, because of the earliness of these crops, the harvest comes quickly and they represent one of the best opportunities for establishing a following oilseed rape crop. So with all of the hybrid varieties offering those sorts of benefits and 5 or 6 varieties on the current recommended list at very similar yield levels, it's really a case of teasing apart the small differences to understand where a newcomer like Thunderbolt might best be used. There are 2 areas that particularly stand out for Thunderbolt: disease resistance and performance on heavy land. Now, as I said, all of the hybrids have fairly consistent disease resistance, but Thunderbolt is the pick of the bunch, with a very well-rounded collection of resistance scores, particularly strong against mildew and brown rust, and with a 6 for resistance to Rhynchosporium. Thunderbolt is also the best performing hybrid barley variety on a heavy land situation. So then, if we compare Thunderbolt to a variety like KWS Orwell in a heavy land situation, we would expect Thunderbolt to provide at least another 750 kilos per hectare in yield and quite possibly a tonne per hectare and above. That makes it an excellent gross margin option on heavier soils as a barley crop, although with Thunderbolt we will need to temper that with a fairly robust PGR programme. This is one of the weaker of the hybrid barley varieties for straw strength at the moment, so we can manage it with a 2-dose at least PGR, and we'll need to be aware of it when putting it in that heavy and fertile land situation. Finally, like Kingston, Thunderbolt is a very early maturing barley, so they're roughly on a par for harvest maturity. It shows as a -1 for maturity on the recommended list, although in a real farm situation that could show as a several days difference in harvest readiness between Thunderbolt and two-row varieties.